Done, boy.
Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, boys and girls. Welcome to another episode of the Weekend Review. Let's get out the panel. We have some guests of note. Let's start off here with the usual suspect, Mr. Abby Someone. Good morning.
Good morning. Another episode with the wacky people.
The wacky people.
Hello.
All right. Yes, another usual suspect, straight from the Highlands, Mr. Cruel Beer.
Hello.
How we doing?
Not bad, apart from a bit cold and lacking coffee, but we all know that. Yeah.
Did you make
That's your fault for not having coffee.
That's also my fault. Yes.
Did you make? So you didn't make it out to the market yesterday? I'm assuming.
No, he did. He did.
Oh, okay.
I've been shopping today. I managed to get the car out today, so
He had to dig the car out of the ice.
The icy roads.
It wasn't that bad. It was just the pavement, the bottom of the pavement. I had to clear a bit. So
That's bad.
bad enough. So
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, our guest of the day, straight from His Majesty's England, the Gobster.
I have coffee, but I'm freezing. I literally just breathed into my coffee cup and steamed my glasses up and I had to wipe them off because I couldn't see. Look, I can't see. I have to bloody.
Yeah, he needs wiper blades on his.
I need wiper blades. Is that bloody freezing? Oh, thank you, Sharon. So someone should put a nice comment because everybody knows I'm having a bit of a rough one at the moment.
Oh, let's see who's in the chat. Yes, Sharon Gardner says, "Hi, Gobster, stay strong. We are with you." Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, Martin Cook, welcome. So we're having some interesting times. So let's get right over to Le Menu, and on the Le Menu,
Dirty French word.
we have Los Angeles is burning.
At least it's
Drones.
warm.
Yes, drones. UK Parliament, a narco-tyranny organization,
That's
and
been
the
fine.
presidential inauguration. And also, why is there a wild boar in my thumbnail? We're going to find out later. Let's go with LA is burning. Yeah. So LA is burning.
Is it?
It's either burning because it's dropped into hell or it's been arsoned.
maybe a little of both.
maybe a little.
It's already
both.
in hell.
Yeah.
Well, we know that. It's a freaking seventh layer with the leadership they have over there. So yeah, LA wildfires started off of the Pacific Palisades, which is a very popular scenic, almost tourist destination right off of the 101 highway, the legendary, historic 101 highway, which runs along the coast of California for quite a ways. But the most popular area, or the most scenic, is the area that's on fire that got burnt down. And all those multi-million-dollar homes, homes, but one got burnt to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of interesting stuff going on. And then we find out, so the fire started, and then by the time 3 a.m. the next morning came around, all the fire hydrants were dry.
Well, that's good. That'll help.
In almost the whole area of Los Angeles, the whole Los Angeles County. And so come to find out that, and it's no surprise to people who are familiar with the area and what's going on politically and etc. They failed to prepare for such a situation. And Abby knows this because he still lives there in the state, not there, but he knows in the state that there are basins that were specifically designed for wildfires and stuff like that. So there were reservoirs storing water, lots of water, millions of gallons of water in
specifically
various
for the fire hydrants and the fire.
Correct. Yes, exactly. Specifically for those functions. And it is part of the duty of the Los Angeles city and county fire department, fire chiefs, and those leaders, and the mayor of Los Angeles to ensure that those public works are functioning and up to speed. And apparently that did not happen at all.
Imagine that.
No.
Oh, apparently it was to save some fish.
Scientists warn climate change will continue to affect the locations that government wants to purchase at a discount price. Oh,
amazing that, isn't it? Isn't that right?
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Did I just say that? Oh, dear.
Yes.
Well, it's true, though. It's true. It's very special. Very special is this climate change.
Yes.
I've seen some videos of the climate change being arrested after setting fire to stuff with acetylene torches.
Yes.
Which is quite impressive. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Funny that.
Martin Cook says afternoon all. PD Rich.
All right, Martin. How are you?
How's it going, PD? Good to see you. Martin Cook also asks, My American Brothers, do you have channels? Please share if so. Yes. Well, I have mine. I have two. I have this one on YouTube and another one on Rumble. Same name. Sharon says, all planned as we all know. Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Martin also says the BBC wildfires, they arrested people, most likely green activists, for arson. That's global warming. Yeah, they did. They're not only arrested, there's people, citizens apprehended the one guy with a freaking blowtorch. Wasn't a resident, had no business in the area at all, didn't live there, didn't work there. So the citizens apprehended him, and because he was carrying a blowtorch and acting kind of shady, the police showed up and did not arrest him for probable cause of arson with a fucking weapon.
No.
They arrested him on a warrant charge.
We know that these blowtorches need to get regular exercise. Come on now.
Yes, you have to take them out for regular walks because they don't work otherwise. You should know this now. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the LA Police Department, honestly, really.
They used to be worth a shit. Nah, it's been a long time since then.
You know, I remember the LAPD when they used to just randomly beat black people up on the side of the road. Now they just don't do anything.
No,
Absolutely
they don't.
nothing.
They don't. They don't do anything.
They don't do a thing.
Yeah. No.
I'm waiting for the days of the rooftop Koreans coming back. That's the good old LA I want.
Oh, that was the proper LA then.
I'll tell you what. There's one of them I subscribe to. Tony, I think his name is Tony Moon. Yeah, on Twitter. Look him up.
Yes.
Look him up. Yeah, he's an original. He's the OG rooftop Korean.
Yeah, he was
guys
one of them.
Badass. He was definitely one of them. So yeah, PD Rich says that's better. Hey, well, come. Yep. Let's see.
Sorry, PD Rich.
They have millions in the bank. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Hey, Martin. The rich will say they are poor now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Let's talk about that bullshit, shall we? So apparently, our wonderful derelict in charge for the next week said that the U.S. government will for 6 months completely cover all costs for the victims and the municipalities of these wildfires. Conveniently forgetting about everybody who lived in Appalachia, which stretches at North Carolina, South Carolina,
or Maui,
parts of Tennessee, Georgia, etc., and parts of Florida that were ravaged by 2 freaking hurricanes. And the people in North Carolina, Western North Carolina, still living in freaking tents and dying because they're freezing to death because this wonderful federal government of ours and the Federal Emergency Management Association is, agency is fucking derelict and incompetent
Yes.
and political. They are
Really?
political.
Feeling me shocked. Feeling me shocked.
Yep.
Also, they need to change their name now. They need to change their name because there's no emergency management at all.
There's
So
no
the-
management.
the middle bit's a lie. It's the
Yeah.
federal something or something agency.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Federal
Yeah.
scam agency.
But Bunny in the chat says, "Hey guys,
All
the
right,
internet
Bunny.
was out this morning.
Oh,
Have a
Bunny.
great show."
Oh dear. Hey dear,
Okay.
mate. Come on.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, all right, mate.
Smart cities are coming, not for me. Yeah.
yeah,
that's
that's
right.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the thing I
A
want to hear.
smart city is the one you don't live in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
only
that's-
smart ones are the ones that will do their own thing. And yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
Yep, yep. Agreed.
And hi, Sharon. So
Right, Sharon.
Yep.
so yeah, the federal government is going to be helping 100% the devastation in Los Angeles on the coast. But here's the thing, and that's all well and good. That's great for them.
What's the nine
But
worst
is
word?
this class bullshit going on here? Because some of these people that are, the people in North Carolina that were affected, a majority of them are conservative and maybe Republican and maybe voted for Trump. And they just don't want to give two shits. And then they're going to offer them a $750 loan and they have to qualify for it, which I think of like 90% of the people didn't get because they didn't qualify for it.
Yeah.
Because their fucking everything they owned got washed away and destroyed.
Now you're not telling them they can't rebuild them the same where their home was, where their property is.
Yeah.
That
Right.
makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
And all of this bullshit's happening, and it's all spearheaded by FEMA. And then
Oh.
the state of North Carolina is not the greatest governed state anyway.
No, not anymore.
And so their governor and his staff are all left waffer,
Yeah.
as God
no.
would say.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
left waffer. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all left waffer, and so all the people in the outlying areas that are mostly red areas they're getting screwed. Hopefully, when after next Monday, when Trump is in and in good, full power, he's in control, then we'll hopefully see some change. I really.
So did
do.
you see that the Amish came in there and built like 12 houses in less than
Yep.
2 days?
Yeah,
You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good at you, see.
Yeah.
Get
They-
people who know what they're doing.
Quality built homes.
they built 12. I think they're small homes.
Yeah.
They're not like
Right.
any homes, but they're small. And in 48 hours, they had 12 of them completely built or ready to go
FEMA
Yeah,
tried to
that's-
stop them and they said,
Ground
fuck
up.
you, we're going in.
from the ground up. Yep. Amish.
Amish.
Thank God for the Amish.
Yes.
Sounds like they know what they're doing.
Captain Infinity. Is this
Hey,
live?
Hey.
Captain.
It's
Yes.
I think it is. Is it live? Am I alive? I don't know.
Sharon said,
Well, are we in a
I'm
simulation?
Aquarius,
I think
and
we're in a
do my own
simulation.
things. No one controlled me. Yeah, Aquarius. There we go. Oh, I see FEMA turned up this time. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. Yep.
Yeah, we know how much we love them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a rebel big time. Good for you.
Nice.
Awesome.
I'm
There you
here
go.
from the government and I'm here to help.
Yeah. Those are
Hey.
scary words. So yeah, so they're it's kind of, it's sad that things get destroyed and stuff like that. It doesn't matter if it's someone you like or you dislike.
Amen.
We should have a little bit of empathy and compassion in that regard. The thing is that that area, primarily the power control of California, is mainly leftists.
Yes.
And
What do you
there
mean,
are some
it is
there are
leftist.
some areas that are not, but they still have to abide by a lot of the state things, state law,
Yeah,
state mandate,
yeah.
things like that. So they're kind of forced to.
Gavin
Well-
Newsom and his beautiful hair.
Mm.
I contend
Yeah.
that's what started the fire. His grease in his hair. The grease.
That's what it was.
So a lot of these, like the whole thing is coming up, this controversy now, and it's being spread like, sorry the pun, wildfire on
Hey!
Twitter, on X, is that everybody who's in charge, the mayor, the fire chief, the deputy fire chief, and this made-up position of the diversity, equity, and inclusion department of the city of LA.
Mm-mm.
How's that going?
They're all, in my opinion, incompetent. Every single one of those people in leadership positions are incompetent because they allowed this to happen in that they were not ready. There was years ago, decades ago, one of my first bosses told me this little, I guess you want to call it an acronym. He called it the 5 P's.
Okay.
Proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Yeah, we have that. That's the British Army. We have that as well. We have the 5 P's. Planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep.
I like it didn't work like that.
And it rings true. Well, it rings true here because you have emergency, basically fire departments or emergency entities that, emergency management. It's only, it's only wise to make sure that you're prepared for any event, whether it's a fire, whether it's a tornado, whether it's a hurricane. Okay, your response, your preparedness for that issue is paramount to protecting the lives of your citizens, your communities, your businesses, and your infrastructure.
Hold on a minute. Don't forget that lesbian firefighter when asked about, can you carry my husband out of a fire? And she said, well, it's his fault for being in one.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yes, okay, right. So
it is mentality like that. It's the mentality like that.
Meanwhile, she looks like a linebacker for the Raiders.
Yeah, it's that mentality that's incompetent.
If my wife, not that I have one, but if my wife said that, I'd be like, congratulations, I'm filing for divorce.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, that's the mindset. That's the mentality of these people who are hired for high positions that have, 1, no experience, and 2, lack the merit, obviously experience, but they have no forethought. It's only ideology that drives their existence.
Yeah.
That's it. Ideology drives their existence. And it's a shame because but this whole event is shining a
hot in the city.
Hot in the city tonight.
Yeah. Billy Idol.
Yeah, you got that right. You got that
Billy
right.
Idol.
Hot in the city. You got that.
Well, we can make some s'mores.
Yeah. Exactly.
So,
PD in the chat says ours is preparation. Yep.
Yeah,
exactly.
Prepare as much as you can.
Yep. Froggles Boggles says,
true.
All the millions of dollars of homes, cars, luxury goods by the Pacific, but no water and hose pipes. Yeah, no water in the fire hydrant.
See, because I've done a bit of firefighting, you can't use seawater through a fire pump.
You can't.
It actually destroys the actual pumping mechanism inside the fire engine.
That's salt.
So after about an hour and a half, there'll be no pumping pedal left because it'll all been eaten away by the salt.
Yeah.
So that's why they can't use salt. But
they
could use it and they can't even use it in the planes either for the same reason because it destroys all the bits inside it. So it is a shame.
What about those like helicopters that have the buckets of water?
They could that's fine. The problem is with the wash coming up, you've got to be careful it doesn't damage the helicopter. Because it ingests the salt. It's the salt that's the problem.
Fucked!
Yeah. It's hubris and vanity on crack. Yeah.
You
got that right.
Absolutely right.
Hail chat.
Hail chat.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here for the world to see is what promoting ideology can do for your safety and the safety of your community, family, and property. Versus actually hiring people that know what the fuck it is they're doing and they have merit.
Helpful.
All of these people, the first thing needs to be addressed is their incompetence. And by some of these interviews that they've had with the mayor and all these other people up and down the chain of command, it is glaring, the incompetence, and it's not my fault. Okay,
So,
they have no sense of honor or duty to take responsibility for their failings. They failed. They freaking failed. From the mayor and fuck that. From the governor all the way down the line.
So
all the
here
way
we go.
down. From the governor all the way down. They failed. They failed on purpose.
There's this guy, Rick Caruso, who ran for mayor last year against this Bass person.
Yep.
And he is a real estate guy, and he's owned businesses and stuff like that. He was in charge of the water department in LA before this, right?
Right.
And they never had a problem with this, right? Huh. He was in charge. Yep. He also owns the Pacific Palisades, the mall area there, the huge mall. He hired his own fire team with water tankers and stuff just for this reason. So if you go up, there's video of this. There's this beautiful mall with shops and stuff and everything. Nothing's torched. Nothing's burnt down. Everything around it is burnt down.
Yeah, so
because he knew.
Knows what they're doing. Yeah. What they're doing.
Exactly.
They know what they're doing.
You see, unfortunately, in California, they've adopted this, and it's weird. They claim that it's it's environmental, and basically they're adopting environmentalist ideology rather than conservation ideology. And conservation ideology is more conducive to forest management and land management, meaning clean up the stuff that's going to burn, clean up the fuel that's going to create a devastating fire versus the these environmentalist stuff where don't touch nothing because some little fucking insect lives there, or some fish that nobody's ever fucking seen before that's the size of a Lego lives in some pond or some river. Okay. But let's do this. Let's take all of the surplus rainwater that came off the mountains and the snow melted that's in these basins, and let's go ahead and just release it into the ocean. And that actually happened. And I'm not mistaken. It was either this governor that they have now or the one right before him.
They both
did a good idea.
They both did it.
Yeah. And then they covered up the bullshit that happened with the Oroville Dam.
Yeah.
That dam break that breached because of lack of maintenance, meaning incompetence on taking care of business.
Now, come on.
We all know these.
They covered that up big time. We all know these things fix themselves. They all fix themselves. We know this.
Yeah.
And 5 years ago, there was a proposition when it came time to vote to build and strengthen our reservoir infrastructure. They haven't got a damn thing with them yet. They haven't built any new reservoirs. They haven't fixed the old ones. They've done none of it.
They diverted the money, I'm sure, to some DEI program bullshit.
Trained to nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And also don't forget that an awful lot of the LA Fire Department's equipment currently sits in the Ukraine.
Yeah. Oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that? I saw some news flash. Apparently, Oregon, the state of Oregon, and some fire departments there sent down firefighting equipment, pumper trucks. Okay. They sent down trucks and stuff like that to help fight the fires. Like 60 of them, I think. And from what I was reading, the state of California is not releasing them into being used because apparently they don't meet state environmental guidelines. Are you freaking kidding me?
Oh, I know. That's an idea. Let's just turn back help. Now, does that sound a bit like what happened in the Carolinas? When they sent all the stuff to help and then they turned it around.
And then guess what? LA went to LA stuff went to Ukraine.
No, of course it did. Because it's a logical thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually saw one clip where there was a small fire that was in somebody's garden and they didn't have any hose left in the back of the truck. So they were using the householder's wife's handbags to bucket the water on the fire. How embarrassing as a firefighter to turn up to fight a fire, roll up the shutter, and there's fuck all in the back.
Look at a bucket, not even a bucket.
No, they literally he rolls up the thing to grab the hose, and there's nothing in there. So they're actually using the lady's handbags from the house it was to catch the water, run and lob it over the like, you poor bastards.
Fucking
That
hell,
was
does she not have a bucket? Has she not got a bucket even? Or a pail
Apparently
or
not. Although I have noticed in a lot of photos after the fire, apparently blue recycling bins have melted. There's lots of them lying around all over the place.
Yeah.
And I saw this in Hawaii, and I've decided that if I have a fire, I'm going to get in my bin, because clearly these bins are fireproof. It's the best way to survive. Because they don't melt. They just lie next to places that are burnt down, and they're still there. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder. But oh my God, how embarrassing though as a firefighter to turn up and go, oh, well, I'm here, but you haven't got a bucket by any chance, have you?
Oh yeah.
Oh Lord. Oh,
Well,
dear.
so that's what's going on in California. It's burning, and everybody's incompetent in the management over there. And anybody who's lived there for any time or has been there for a length of time knows how fucked up their politics and their incompetence level is there in management. So let's move on to the drones, since we've burned down California. So we're seeing a lot of drones all over the place again. They stopped for a little while. Apparently, majority of them are running at night, and we see them on the East Coast and things like that. So,
well, you know why you've stopped seeing them for a while, don't you? It takes a while to charge all those batteries up to put them back in the drones. I mean, it's like, how many drones? I've got 99 batteries on charge. Just give it a chance.
I wonder how many diesel generators were used to charge them.
I mean, if you want to know, who's flying them, just look for the one house that's using a shitload of electric to charge the batteries. I mean, it's going to be a bit obvious.
Exactly.
Oh dear Lord.
It's funny because they're mostly running at night. And they're running around the East Coast. Now they've been seen on the West Coast. Now, there's several theories going around that they could be the Chinese, etc., trying to intimidate or testing stuff, whatever. Who knows? If that were the case, it would be a provocation and an act of war. Anybody who has a military background would know that. And so, I don't think that's to Chinese.
No,
I think my opinion is based upon what I've heard from people who know drones is that they're probably ours. Some either black ops government department that's compartmentalized, or it's in conjunction with the U.S. military. They are experimental, meaning they're not the ones you would like a Predator drone or anything like that. These are unique technology that we've probably had for a while, but never kind of publicized or brought out. But my opinion is based upon what was being said by a gentleman who runs a drone company with a government contract. He feels they're looking for something. Hence, that's why they're doing it at night. You see, most of this drone activity is at night. The same situation happened back, I think, in Denver, Colorado, or somewhere in Colorado. And they were, obviously going up and down a freeway corridor, and they were actively doing something at night. The only reason why you put a drone up at night is you're either search and rescue, or for downed pilots or something like that, or you're searching for something. You basically down pilot. You're searching for something,
right?
Or you want an increase in budget to build more anti-drone defenses, and the best way to show that there's a problem is to create a problem.
Right.
Yes, there you go. Yes. Create a problem.
Say, we can't do anything about these. We haven't got the technology. Well, we have, but it costs a lot of money and it's experimental. Yeah. Oh, well, we best rush. Now, I would go more down it's done so they can justify spending more money on stuff. Yeah, that's the kind of thing.
It's a possibility. That's a possibility. Yeah, I would not put it past them.
Yeah,
to get some anti-drone stuff. I don't know.
Probably that.
Yeah,
I mean, the fact that it's conveniently over, certain military bases and things like that, a bit convenient.
Yeah,
it's a bit convenient. So
absolutely. Now they have seen some interesting looking aerial vehicles during the daytime. there is video out there of these very interesting looking vehicles in the sky, flying around, being stationary, going, making all kinds of different types of turns and banks and things that are, would probably be very dangerous for an actual human pilot to be in. Right. So they're more than likely remote operated. But during the day, they look different, and they don't make a sound. So who knows what their power plant or propulsion systems are? But they're not your typical UFO either. Who knows? Yeah, really? You don't know. Maybe they are UFOs, but we built them. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, Infinity in the chat says by now government has all kinds of new secret drone technology.
No doubt.
They're probably at least several decades ahead of what's out on the market right now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah, but are they still licensing them correctly? And make sure because you got to have all these. I mean, here in the UK, they've tightened the rules even more now for flying even the smallest of drones. So
yeah. Sharon says, "Don't worry, it's ET still wanting to go home." Yep.
Yeah.
Phone home.
Yeah.
Phone home. Yeah, B-Dog in the chat says, "Did you see the Sean Ryan interview about that?" I haven't seen that specific interview. No,
not yet. But I will be.
Seen clips.
Yeah. PD in the chat says, one day I'm going to meet an actual extraterrestrial, and that'll be one of my bucket lists. Till then, we've only got illegal aliens. Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. Yep. I hear you.
Oh, yes.
I hear you. Good old drones. Well, let's get to some meat and potatoes here.
Hey, our shithole.
Sure, Gobby.
Hey!
Yes, it's over to our shithole. Yes.
So, the next menu.
Careful, Gobby. They might come and break the door down.
UK Parliament, a narco tyranny organization.
And that's you being
I have a poll in my chat on my YouTube channel, and it says, "Is Britain living under a narco tyranny?" And it's a yes, no, or not sure. And right now, the majority is it's a tyranny.
You see, I hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
Does it seem the same?
Let me read to you.
Carry on.
Let me read to you what the definition of a narco tyranny. A narco tyranny is a system of government where the state fails to enforce or adjudicate protections to its citizens, while simultaneously persecuting innocent conduct. It occurs when the state stops upholding its end of the social contract and uses its monopoly on violence for its own ends. I think that's really freaking fitting for what we're seeing happen in Britain and what they're trying to do here, or what they tried to do, especially with Donald Trump.
To be fair, that designation makes it sound almost cozy and not threatening as compared to what we're actually doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's horrendous.
Exactly. It is.
So
guys,
are y'all going to move to the UK then, or come on?
Yeah, come join us in the shithole. It's all good fun. You don't even have to. In fact, if you come over, you'll get a hotel room, 3 square meals a day, free central heating, mobile phones, money, the ability to do whatever you want, pick a place to live.
Just come up on the beach with a Quran in my hand, and I'm good.
You'll
right?
be fine. You'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Just call yourself Ahmed, and you'll be absolutely fine. Not a problem at all. Meanwhile, all our old people are freezing to death, but that's okay.
Yeah.
As long as they're nice and warm.
So and so they did that vote in Parliament, which was to start an inquiry into all of these roaming bands of free range coyotes. I want to call them that. Hurting people.
Dirty.
And hurting people. girls specifically. And there was a push to have a vote on whether or not they wanted to pursue in investigating these incidences, which stem back over a decade. Am I correct on that, Gobby?
More longer than that, mate. It's
Yeah.
longer than that. This has been going on a long time. And what the media seems to fail to also recognise is it's still going on. It's still happening right now. It's happening, and we seem to have a government who's just turning a blind eye to it. Well, we know why they're turning a blind eye to it. But the best thing is about the vote is Keir Starmer pulled what they call a 3-line whip. Now, what that is in the UK Parliament, when you get a position of become an MP, you get something called the whip, which is your right to be there. A 3-line party whip basically means you have no choice but to vote as you have been told to vote. Otherwise, they sack you from the party. So you lose so you would cease to be a Labour MP. You'd still be an MP, but you're being independent. So he did this, forced them all to vote no, and then had the common audacity not to even vote himself, nor did any of the front benchers bar two. So he basically threatened everybody and then didn't even vote himself. And the reason it's been done is because we all know he was in charge of the Department of Public Prosecutions in that era. All those cases went in front of him. He knew exactly what was going on, and he doesn't want the fingers pointing at him. And that is it. And the cover-up that has been happening in this country for the last, I'd say, 15, probably even 20 years now, when we have somebody who spoke out against it, as in Mr. Tommy Robinson, who's currently in prison. We've had people speak out and be vilified. We've actually got victims now who are speaking back out and have been threatened by the police to keep their mouths shut, even now. And there are 364 traitorous, dirty, stinking bastards in charge who will sacrifice thousands of our young girls at the temple of bending the knee to the members of Alan's Snack Bar. How many more people do you want to sacrifice just to appease somebody? It is the most disgraceful thing I have ever had the displeasure of experiencing. As a person who put his life on the line for this goddamn stinking rot hole that it is now, I'm embarrassed. I am utterly embarrassed by the way that this country's been let down by its ruling elite.
Well,
and I mean, yeah, it's
ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't figured it out, Gobby's pissed off.
Just a bit.
I just thought I'd say that. But can I just add something? I mean, I don't know if you might have seen it, Gobby, but Rotten Politics did a video the other day, a few days ago, with an interview with somebody who was from Lebanon, and it went through the history of Lebanon in the 1970s and how that was multicultural, and and then the Muslims came in, and you know how they get to have 4 wives and breeding and so on, and then it fell to Islam, or rather the Islamist sort of side of things. And my concern would be that we're doing that here.
Oh, it's happening all over,
but
it is.
But in terms of these gangs and in terms of these cover-ups and the complicity of the government and things like this, the only sort of saving grace, I guess if you could call it that, is it's becoming so much more difficult for these people to hide.
Yes,
it's the only good thing.
Yes,
and the platforms like YouTube and social media and things like this allow the victims to get a say.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing.
Yeah, the one thing that this has done, which is I did a video on it, is it's dropped one of the largest red pills in society.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
it has actually opened finally a lot of people's eyes to the level of crap that's going on in this country right now, and in fact all over the world. So in one respect, I think it's absolutely fantastic in that respect that it has opened so many more people's eyes, and we have to say this, thanks to Elon Musk for taking this up and showing the goddamn world what the hell has been happening to our country. He deserves a medal for that. I don't care if people say he shouldn't be interfering, this, that, and the other. If it wasn't for him, this would have stayed buried. They're still trying to bury it, even now. They're trying to pretend it didn't happen.
Someone, I forget who it was, put the meme up. But it was, people were peeved at Elon Musk for interfering, but they're okay with George Soros funding things.
Oh, well, I mean, he says he shouldn't be interfering. Well, look, we had Bill Gates turn up and chat to our government. We've had our government selling stuff to bloody BlackRock. But we don't want any interference. Sit back down, you arseholes. You don't know what you're talking about. The simple truth of the matter is, somebody has got the balls to shine a light on you, and you don't like it. This is pure evil. There is no excuse. I am a dad, a father, a grandfather, and I have children to protect.
Yes.
What they did by doing that vote was basically green-lighting them to do whatever they want to do to any of the white little girls that are in this country.
Yeah.
And my youngest is my little girl, my little Lexi's 10 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm terrified. Well, I'm not terrified because they go anywhere near, I'll fucking kill them. And I don't care if that gets me into trouble because I will. I will.
Did you see? I think it was the guy that Meyer Tusi had on was saying that this form of tactics with the assaults on the girls is a form of genocide.
Yeah, that's
genocide.
It is. It's absolute genocide. That's the whole point of it is to intimidate and to destroy.
Yes.
And
they're occupying the place. It's occupation force.
It's an occupation force, and we've got what they call in this country now, the government's called Operation Scatter. Now, Operation Scatter, its sole purpose is to put immigrants in every single town, city, village in the United Kingdom. So they're now moving multiple, and I'm going to say it truthfully, multiple combat units into every section of our society.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do a video on this later on, but it turns out that my daughter last Christmas got evicted from a house because the landlord wanted to sell it. She's moved, she's fine, we've got it all sorted. The house that she's now in has been bought by the local council, has now been stripped, and is going to house illegal immigrants.
Of course.
At a massive cost to the government. But they're putting, so that'll be that. So what they're doing is they're making sure that there is nowhere in this country where there aren't any. Now, why would you be strategically moving these people all over the place? If this isn't part of an invasion, this isn't part of an operation, then there's something not, it's something going on here.
It's a systemic destruction of the Western culture.
Yeah.
No, that is, I
mean, look what they're doing in Ireland, too. They've got freaking camps of them all over the freaking place.
Yeah, but Ireland, look, come on, Sinn Féin. Yeah, Sinn Féin. I was in Ireland when Sinn Féin were actively killing and blowing people up. Ireland for the Irish, they used to say. And now they're shaking hands with the Muslim. Really?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So was it Ireland for the Irish, or was it Ireland for, whoever we decide someone's going to pay us to accept?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Hey, we got a late edition here. It's Mr. T-Bunny.
Oh, hello, T-Bunny.
Hey.
Hello, gentlemen. Internet's working now.
We have internet.
We have internet.
Yes.
So,
can I
however
say
temporary.
Go ahead.
The internet provided by FEMA?
Well, I was going to say,
I'm in Western North Carolina. What can I say?
The problem that our Islamic community has, in my opinion, is twofold. Number one is you've got, on one hand, you've got all the ball bags that are doing these horrible things, and then on the other hand, you've got everybody else that's definitely silent. You know what I mean? That's a problem. It gives this very nasty perception. It's just like, well, where do you stand with all this? Are you okay with this?
I mean,
are you not okay with this?
Yeah.
Why the silence? Why?
This is what we're now. Oh, you shouldn't tar us with the same brush. Well, we wouldn't if you said something.
Yeah, exactly.
If you come out and said, that's disgusting, I don't agree with that, people would go, that's very nice of you, thanks very much.
Yeah.
But if you sit
we'd
there,
all
I
have their
don't
back.
care
We would have their back. We would have their back with that.
because that's what we do. We stick together. But the thing is, they are always 100% totally silent. They won't condemn anything. Why not? Why not? And the thing is,
I mean, there are a few.
Okay,
I mean,
we know. We
like,
well, you and I, Crawl, we know at least a couple who are, but a couple is not enough.
Archer
the call is coming from inside the house. You have to understand.
Oh, I know.
They're in the same mosque. They're in the same community. They speak out. You know, there's nobody to protect them. I mean,
but the thing is, in reality, and this is what I've said on many, many times, is if they did come out, yes, they would have people to protect them because we would. Yeah. Because we would stand with them. And that's the thing, that the message that really does need to be put out there in a more forceful way is, if you want to stand up and say this is evil, then we will side with you. It's that simple. But if you are going to just be, thing is, I can sit here, I can be intimidated. I am intimidated because I can get arrested by my own government for saying what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
same here. Yeah.
And when this all kicked off here in the UK, you saw an awful lot of YouTubers walk away and not just stop doing it. I wasn't going to do that because it's not right. You've got to keep speaking. And I mean, I've had the last couple of weeks have been absolutely awful for me. I've been really struggling with PTSD and everything else. And I know at one stage, like just recently, I thought, that's it, I'm done. I can't be doing this. But the thing is, I can't quit, because if I quit, it's not good enough.
Right.
We've got to speak out. And I know it's difficult to speak out if you're a Muslim against other Muslims, because it really is difficult. And I get that. And I understand that. I really, really genuinely, hand on heart, do. But you've got to. We need.
That's the thing, isn't it? A lot of the narrative would go away quite quickly, I think, if they did. You know, if they did speak up, it would just evaporate, you know. I mean, they do speak out occasionally. It's just not that often.
No.
You know, I mentioned Candid with Lubna Wookie earlier on. You know, I watched one of her videos earlier, but there are some people that she has on that speak out about all this. But again, it's a small amount.
Yeah, and the thing is, we get it. I do genuinely. I understand their fear. I genuinely do, because we've seen what Muslims do to people who don't believe. Yeah, they're even worse for those people who are supposed to be on their side. It's just
Tommy Robinson.
Well, yeah.
Talk about a cautionary tale.
That's the thing about
that's why they persecute him so hard, is they don't want anybody. They want everybody to take his, you know.
I mean, how many times have I said on my videos, you've got to realise they want to keep us fighting amongst ourselves so we don't pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And they win, and they keep winning. And I just...
That's the deception.
It's the whole plan, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, we'll all have our arguments. It's like they've planned the Southport stabbing guy to go on trial on the day of the inauguration of President Trump, knowing that all the media will be watching that and not paying attention to the guy who slaughtered 3 young girls.
Right.
That's right. There's a few court cases that day, I think, isn't it? It's not just
there's that one. There's the guy who tried to stab the lieutenant colonel to death on the doorstep in front of his wife, which went totally silent for no apparent reason. And that is it, Ricky Jones, who was the Labour MP.
That guy.
The guy who said that all right-wing people should have their throats cut.
You guys do have a game changer, though, because Elon Musk has taken a personal.
Yes, we know.
Yeah, we were just saying.
Love Elon. Absolutely. Yeah. For Elon to do it is amazing. It genuinely is.
Yeah.
As long as there's any free speech whatsoever, they can't control the narrative anymore.
Exactly, and
which is why they want X gone. That's why
all
their guns are on X right now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, not only has he just done that and said it himself, the other powerful people he's dragged into it with him. And at last, there is a light shining on the UK, which is bright.
Yeah.
And it encourages people to start to go, actually, there is a problem. A lot of us have known there's been these problems for years and years and years, but we've just been, called everything under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
But the simple
Right.
truth of the matter is,
Yeah.
thanks to Elon and now other people joining, and it's not interference in British politics or British life. It's somebody who's got an opinion of something that's happening in the world. I pass comments on things that happen in America. It doesn't mean I'm
Yeah.
interfering.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no in any
No.
case, but you know, I mean,
where Keir Starmer did something that's probably going to wind up being a really huge mistake when he sent 100 staffers over to America
Yep.
to interfere in our
Yes.
election.
Big time. Yeah.
Because
big time.
Yes.
Election
Trump is
interference.
he's already like singled that out as something that's going to be addressed, and he doesn't say how
yeah.
he's going to address it. He just says it's going to be addressed, and so
Yeah. We know,
Yeah.
we know,
Oh,
we
yeah.
know, and then also we don't. I also would know full well
Yeah.
that Donald Trump won't forgive all those things that the Labour MPs said about him either, when they called him everything under the sun. And
Yeah.
you know what?
Absolutely.
I hope the vengeance is good. I really, really do. I genuinely do. But no, if it wasn't, I mean, they run polls here. Oh, the British public don't like Elon. Ignore that shit. Most British people absolutely adore Elon for what he's doing. We really, really do. We really, really do.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when Trump went over there, they tried to make it seem like he was unpopular and that the Queen didn't like him and all this other stuff. But the Queen was like, "Oh, I loved him. He was very delightful, you know."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then it comes out that there's like 1 or 2 balloons that they kept showing of anti-Trump balloons, you know, the big baby, orange baby.
Yeah.
And they kept showing those balloons or whatever, but they didn't show that balloon got popped shortly thereafter the video was taken.
Yeah,
And
I
it's,
Yep.
so I mean, it's like there's the BBC, you know, BBC and the BBC in Canada, you know, they don't have like control of the narrative anymore. They're not the government mouthpiece. That the only way you can get the news anymore, and they're not in. It's like our mainstream media that they have yet to catch up to the fact that nobody is listening anymore.
No.
And and I was thinking this, you know, one thing that William Tecumseh Sherman in the Civil War, he introduced something called total war, where because he kept seeing all these rich people and all these people, you know, with their picnic baskets watching battles like it's a gladiatorial sport.
Yeah.
And he's like, these wars will never end, or these battles will never end until the people who are funding it feel the pain.
Yep.
And so that's why he burned Atlanta. That's why he marched to the sea. That's why he went straight to these people. And then the Civil War ended shortly thereafter. And what we're seeing now is an example. It's like the Pacific Palisades. Most of those people were funding the Democrats to billions of dollars a year. Those are the rich elite, right? And yet the battle has just landed on their doorstep. And when they try to go rebuild and they find out that all these things that they ignored and didn't have to deal with are right in their face, then suddenly they're going to be starting. That money's not going to flow to the Democrat Party anymore. But the same thing's happening in England, where people who have supported the labor and, you know, reflexively are getting all the damage from this migrant population, and they're starting to go like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to vote for Labor next time.
Labor is finished. I mean, when it comes down to it, the next election, if they let us have one, because of course I don't know whether you know, here in the UK they're cancelling our local elections now.
Oh no!
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
They're going to reorganise the councils. So instead of having individual councils, they're just going to have one big super council in certain areas. So we can't have our local council elections because, well, there's no point in voting now because they're all going to change. So in other words, they have, and a lot of people should really be screaming and shouting about this. They've taken away our democratic right to vote, so they can stay in power. That the actions of dictatorship. Only dictatorships cancel elections. They're only local elections. You're only voting for your local councillor. So it's not a huge thing, but it's an indicator. And the Labour Party know they are going to get absolutely obliterated because no one likes them. I mean, and when they do find people who might like them, they go out and attack them with a tax rise or take the money off them. I mean, the next one is going to be apparently they're going to reduce the disabled benefits.
Yeah.
So we've done the old people, we've done the farmers. Yeah, and now we're going to go and do the old people. The motorists are next.
Yeah.
It's just...
See, that's what I think is going to happen in California because, you have all these multi-million-dollar homes that have burned. And these are all, Democratic mega donors and stuff. And when they go to try to pull permits to rebuild, they're going to have to face that whole thing head on.
Yep.
Everything that they voted in and didn't realize what they were voting in.
Yep.
And, Mark, it's going to be 3 or 4 years before one piece of lumber is on that property to rebuild.
Yeah.
It's like Adam Carolla said, Bill Boar trying to build
That's what he
himself a
said.
solar shed is what turned him conservative, more conservative than he's ever been.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's going to happen on a massive scale.
I mean, it's like you got a lot of like the little villages down south that vote like Liberal, Democrat, or Green in this one, and now all of a sudden the immigrants are turning up at their villages, and now all of a sudden there's a problem. Now all of a sudden, hold on a minute, what's going on here? And all of us in the main cities are going, "Welcome to the party, guys.
Yeah,
Welcome
exactly.
to the shithole."
Welcome to
You
the
know what
shit
happened
show.
in Martha's Vineyard when DeSantis shipped all the
Oh
immigrants up
yeah,
there?
that was
You know?
classic.
Yes.
We love these immigrants. We love them. We'll
they
be
declared
waving while they go
themselves a
by.
sanctuary. Yeah, they declared
Yeah,
themselves
yeah.
a sanctuary.
Oh, but don't want them here.
DeSantis
Wait,
obliged and sent plane loads of these people up there, bus loads, and then all of a sudden they're freaking out and they're like, "Oh, we can't have these people here. We can't have these people. This is not."
No.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing.
It's not-
B-Dog
it's
just
not-
brought it. Yes, there we go.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
B-Dog
it's-
says in
it's
chat,
not
don't
a
forget
pro-
the Olympics are coming to LA.
Smart
New
housing.
facility in dense housing.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing in
But it's
Lanai
not-
in
it's-
Hawaii after they burned everything down
it's
and
never a
refused to
pro-
let
it's
the
never
people
a
go
problem.
back.
Yeah.
It's never
set
a
up
problem.
the
It's never a problem.
courthouse.
Lahaina.
It's never.
Yeah. What's
Lahaina,
Cruel saying?
yeah.
What's Cruel saying?
It's never a problem until it lands on their doorstep.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just ever
Not
you
in
know,
my
we
backyard.
have to
They
deal
don't
with all the-
care if it's not in their
Exactly.
backyard.
It's all right if it's us. But the minute it
The
hits
problem
their
is-
doorstep,
the problem
even a
is-
slight- yeah.
These people are blind to the fact that this type of shit, you have to think of this type of shit as an infection. If your finger gets cut and you get a
Mhm.
freaking infection, that infection can travel through the bloodstream and goes all over your fucking body. And by
Yeah.
the time you decide it's a fucking problem, your finger's a fucking problem,
Mhm.
you already got all kinds of other shit that's going to kill you.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
They're not paying
That's
attention
the thing.
to.
These people are fucking stupid.
They're not paying attention
Yeah,
to a
you-
DEI fire chief who's saying that, well, if your husband gets in trouble in a burning building, well,
Yeah.
he shouldn't have been in. He shouldn't have been in
Yeah.
trouble in the first place until their building is burning, and then they have to rely on that tubby lord, whatever she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
DEI hire.
the other question I need to ask is, how the hell does she fit in a fire truck? I mean,
that's a very good question.
I mean, come on, let's be honest. I mean, I've been in fire trucks. Those doors aren't exactly the most widest things known to man. Because
Yeah.
Well,
No.
she's built like a linebacker that's gone to seed. I mean,
she,
Linebacker is more like an offensive lineman.
I was just saying that she's a nose tackle. Easily a nose
Ah,
Easily.
no tackle,
easily.
Yeah.
One of the best
Somebody
nose
is-
tackles that no one's signed ever.
yeah, exactly. that has a freaking all-you-can-eat card for Golden Corral.
Mind you, then again, should be no good as a nose tackle. Why didn't you tackle him? Well, it wasn't my fault that he was in
yeah,
it.
I think
exactly.
that-
Well,
I
he
think
didn't look
it went
like
dude.
me. It's not my responsibility. He didn't look like me.
He's not a lesbian, so I'm not going to tackle him. I'm not being represented properly.
All right. All right.
I was saying, it's like I was saying the other night. This all comes down to the Christian worldview versus the secular humanism. And what we're dealing with is secular humanism run amok. Secular humanism says nobody's important, everybody's replaceable, and the ideals are more important than humanity.
Yeah.
Now, Christian worldview says, look
Right.
up, we're not God. Everybody's important, and humanity's more important than the ideals. And what we're dealing with right now is secular humanism is having its last day. It's having its death throes, and it's trying to take everything down with it as it goes. And because the Christian worldview is like about to flip onto the top, but they are clinging on right now with all white knuckles, and they're trying to tear it all down before they go because they don't give a shit about anybody.
Paul says, looks like she eats like a clock, always having seconds. Yeah, no shit.
That's a good one. I'm going to have to remember that one.
Typical of a Geordie to think of that.
Yeah, here we go. Archer says, when you are in trouble, you want to see someone like me. No, I want someone who can effing help
absolutely.
I got a note from Drunk Craig. He says DEI is the current day Ebonics.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's move on real quick to get these two out of the way because we're at an hour. The presidential inauguration is coming up a week from tomorrow.
Yes,
and everybody's kind of excited, but apparently the transition team for
we're all gonna die
is noticing the transition team from Trump's noticing that there's a lot of shenanigans and weird shit going on with the Biden administration's transition through this, and also the Secret Service and the FBI. So they're noticing some weird irregularities going on. There's also one big glaring thing that happened, and I want to say, I don't know if it was what agency that it was, but it was a government agency put in a request for extra doctors, nurses, and EMTs for Inauguration Day with equipment, trucks, and ambulances and all this shit. They're putting in requests for this shit now to be ready and there on site Monday, the 20th. Why the fuck is this? And secondly, what, and I think the person who actually posted this, or there was an interview that this was brought out in, the interviewer asked if this person bringing forth this information, is this something that has happened in the past? Has this been something that they've done at every inauguration? And the person who was bringing forward the information did not know. But he's seeing this information now, these memos that are going forth through the president, through the current administration, to these departments requesting doctors and nurses and all this stuff like this, extra equipment to be ready to go on Monday the 20th.
The term of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is mass casualty.
If I was Donald Trump and I was on his team and I'd heard this, I'd be saying, give me the number to the United States Marine Corps. I need them, and I need them now.
Yeah,
I want them everywhere.
Well, here's the thing. The last inauguration, the one that Biden was at, nobody could get in. They had 20-foot high chain link fence with cement barriers, and I don't know how many deep barriers. Only people who were part of the ceremony were allowed in. No public. None of that shit. It was an armed National Guard all over the frickin' place with armed cops all over the place. And they even had a no-fly zone. Okay?
I've got another idea. To
so that was for Biden. And my personal opinion is that President Trump should have his inauguration inside the Capitol building. Inside the rotunda, because they can't see. Secret Service has a sphere of protection that they're supposed to provide the president. Well, a sphere is circular, it's round, it's a ball. They can't protect him from the sky.
No.
So they need to have him somewhere where they can protect him.
They could just move it to Scotland on his golf. and then all they need to do then is just put a big television screen up where he would normally be standing in America, but do it in Scotland and beam it live over. So they can't do anything because he's not there.
Yeah.
But that is worried. On a serious note, That is seriously concerning. Seriously concerning.
Yeah, the B-Dog in the chat says that they're going to do a false flag and try to take out Trump. And, I wouldn't doubt it. All these black budget agencies are desperate. They've missed at least twice that we know of, and there could have been other attempts. But
I got one thing that'll make things a little bit better. All of these agencies have DEI'd themselves into complete total stupidity.
Yes.
And what we have seen is every step of the way is every time they've attempted to do something that they used to pull off, like the Oklahoma City bombing or whatever you want to believe they pulled off in the past.
Yeah. Hey,
every single time lately there's been screw ups, there's been stupidity, there's been like moronic things happening, and it's because they have sold out for DEI, which means I don't care if you're competent or not, I'm putting you in this position. And so now they're trying to do the same nefarious stuff they used to do with their collection of psychopaths and sociopaths who had experience and had knowledge that to pull this stuff off. And they don't have that anymore. So whatever happens, parkours, a bunch of parkours. and so it should encourage you, because we're seeing this incompetence that we never have seen from them. They've used to be a well-oiled machine. You give the Democrats their due. They used to be well-oiled machine, but we have seen stupidity. I mean, look at what happened in California. Complete total breakdown from every level, and every step of the way we see DEI hires.
Yeah,
and they have DEI'd themselves into incompetence on a level we've never seen before.
You can just see, I see what you mean. You see the sniper lining up the shot and going, so which button's the safety again? Which way does the bullet go in? I'm honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing.
See, I wonder.
But I'm non-binary.
Yes. I wonder what that sniper's roof rating was. Can he climb that pitch of a roof?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, and excuse me, is this a them they bullet or is it a she he bullet? I need to know.
Right.
Does this bullet truly represent me?
Well, the guy that took out the sniper in Butler was the local guy, the local SWAT guy. Who made a hell of a shot past the Secret Service sniper through the trees and nailed Thomas Crooks through the eyeball.
It went straight in between the heads of their spotter and their sniper, straight through a tree, and it was what a shot! What an absolute amazing shot!
Yep.
I've heard several Navy SEAL who's like a congressman. He was like, "That's one of the best sniper shots I've ever heard about anybody making." Yep. That guy deserves a medal.
Good one. Yep.
We don't even know his name.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to bounce.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
Coming up in just in a few minutes.
So can hang on a bit longer.
I will catch you all later.
Thanks, man. We'll see you. Have a good day, okay?
All right, bye, Cruel.
Go get that
Have fun with the PS5.
Thank you for having us.
All right,
catch you later.
Have a good one. Cool. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
Ta-da. Well, go now then.
Bye.
Go.
Well, you said you were going.
After we miss you, if you won't leave.
All right. So now let's get to a lighter side of the world. In my thumbnail, I have a wild boar picture. In the thumbnail,
probably poorly photoshopped, right?
Yes. Well, thank you very little, asshole.
You have a fascination with pigs. You're saying, Wookie?
So, Anyway, I watch a lot of YouTube. I've subscribed to over 300 different channels.
Wow.
Yeah, I do.
And some of them I watch more than others. So I've been into watching a lot of the channels that they claim it's bushcraft, but it's really just people going out and building shelters and shit, out of, rocks and trees and mud and sticks and shit. And so they're all over the world. There are people from fucking Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, Canada, and some in the United States. But the one thing I noticed there was a trend, and they end up having these wild boars in their thumbnails. So I got curious. I started watching these ones that had the thumbnails. And sure enough, they have trail cam footage of wild boars. And there's one YouTuber, though I think he was the first that started doing it. He actually put sound effects in his audio of the film. Now he doesn't say anything. Now, all these people don't say anything. They just they don't say anything. There's no audio. There's audio, but they're not talking.
Yeah, I promise I got a condom on. I promise.
Yeah, exactly. So
Be like a pig for me.
No shit. I started watching this, and this one guy, here's a small, and I'm taking small sample of thumbnails.
He's got a pig fetish. He's got a boar fetish.
6 of these thumbnails.
Don't worry about him, Gabby.
He wants himself some pork.
You want to have some pork for dinner? Yeah. Well, the thing is, it starts off with 1, then he has sex with it, then there's 2, then there's 3, then there's 4, then there's 5.
Want some bacon?
Lot of bacon.
Taters.
So anyway, there's
Jim pork rinds.
Okay, so of these 9 screenshots, 6 of these are from one channel, and that's the hope I pronounce it right. It's the Botanik channel. Now he doesn't say anything, but he's funny. This guy's funny.
He's definitely funny.
All these things in there, all these freaking
You said it.
wild boars and hogs and shit in his stuff. And he's actually funny. And so, and sometimes he has his dog with him, sometimes he doesn't. But he's funny as hell. I've got his channel. I've got his link to the channel in the description below, along with the other ones I have here. There's one from each of 3 other ones. They run along the same lines, but one of these is a chick, and she's appears to be from somewhere on the east coast of Asia. Okay. Probably Southeast Asia, I'm guessing. But there's just as many channels with girls do this stuff as guys, but they all seem to be, with the exception of 1 or 2. There's a broad out of Russia who's pretty hot. Oh yeah.
It's just a sexual fetish of yours, boars and
well,
girls.
dude, let me tell you, I've had to put
the
girl
You
ones.
gotta watch less YouTube, Wookie.
Of the girl ones, this one here on the lower right hand side of your screen.
He likes a tenderloin.
She's the cleanest
Does
one
he
of the
like
bunch.
pulled pork?
Everybody else is showing cleavage and butt cheek and all this stuff.
Barbecue
It's
sauce.
like, yeah, dude. Yeah, no, but so I've got 5 channels down in the description. They all represent. 2 of them are female. The other one that's not represented here in the thumbnail is called Free Footsteps. And she actually cooks up a hog leg in the video that I saw. So yeah, they're doing it.
Do you know why there's none of these in the UK? Because if you actually build a house like that, it is a legally requirement to have 27 immigrants living in it as soon as they turn over.
I'll tell you what, there's some elaborate ones. I'll tell you what, man. It's
and they don't like pork.
crazy.
No, they don't like pork.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you're not getting any boars in those
Yeah.
pictures.
No pork. No boars in those
No
bushes.
pork. No. So all these
Underage girls, maybe, but not pork.
There's 5.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All 5 of these channels I'm referencing with these thumbnails are in the description. So go check out their channels. These guys have got hundreds of thousands of freaking followers. So they're big channels. They're not small. But the thing is, the trend is with the wild boar.
Well, I've got 500
in their
like,
videos.
Like I got like 593.
Here's the thing. This one guy
He never
Botanik,
promoted me.
but this guy Botanik I've got 6 of his thumbnails up here right now. He's got many more videos that have warthogs in the videos. Either trail cam or night vision camera pictures of these warthogs. Now, whether they're around where he's doing stuff, maybe, I don't know. I think it's funny though because he does reactions to the piped in warthog noise, the boar, wild boar snorting and stuff like that. It's funny. I give the guy a watch. And then the other guy up at the top here, the BBR Bushcraft, he kind of does the same thing. Him and his dog, and he does reactions to wild boar calls and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. So I would say give him a watch. I think it's pretty funny. I threw a wild boar on my thumbnail, figuring it might help the algorithm. I don't know.
So the only way that you'll actually get yourself promoted on Wookie's channel is if you put a boar picture in your thumbnail.
There we go.
There you go.
There we
You're
go.
learning
Next time
now.
I do a show, I'll do it with an apple in my mouth. Maybe I'll.
There we
maybe
go.
he'll promote me.
Oh, hold on. Now we are going down a very dodgy thing.
Hey, I
I
don't
didn't say
know.
a ball gag. I said an apple.
Nice plate of carnitas.
Well, we weren't talking about male chauvinist pigs. They were wild boars. Now, come on.
That's good.
Hey, Gabi, I think I
Thank
figured out
you.
your
Thank you so
how to
much.
solve your Muslim problem over
I
there.
accept that label. I accept that label.
I think I figured it out.
So
Become a
nicest
pig
thing
farmer.
I've ever said.
Become
Well,
a pig
yes,
farmer.
Pig farmer.
There is, believe it or not, there's somebody currently residing in a UK prison because he was jailed for 18 months for putting rashers of bacon on the door handle of a mosque.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I heard there was one place where somebody let loose a whole bunch of pigs and had them scurry through the freaking mosque.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
People have done that. People have done
Hardcore.
that. I mean,
I don't know if that was done
upset.
in Canada or not, but yeah.
I mean, why waste perfectly good bacon on a door handle of a mosque when you could have made a nice sandwich out of it? I don't know, but you know,
Right.
Yes.
what you need to do is sit there and have a barbecue cooking pork right outside the door when they turn up. You may not live very long, but at least it'll be worth the fun.
You know,
It'll smell great.
Labor really should look into the troubles that Bloody Mary had trying to suppress the English population. She really, they have a history of not kind of like reacting a certain way when the people over them try to suppress them.
Yeah, we get we get a little bit runctious and a little bit annoying. Yes, we do. Yes, and the more he carries on, the more likely he's going to feel the wrath of evil England, shall we say?
There we go.
Yeah.
Allegedly,
Get that phallic symbol out of
Allegedly.
So allegedly. So in my on my
damn
chat,
Caucasians.
I have a poll, and I have a poll about Britain. Are they living under an arc of tyranny? Yes, no, not sure. I'm going to end that poll right now. I've got 7 votes, so please, if you need to vote. If you want to jump over from Gabi's channel, chat to my chat. If you want to vote, if you've not already voted, please jump over and vote. I'll close that down here in just a few minutes. Give everybody time to jump over and vote. So far, I have 7 votes. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there for everybody. So yeah, we're having a fun time, aren't we, Gabi?
I'm
politics and life and bullshit.
I'm living the dream, mate. I'm living the dream.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely living the dream. I mean, oh no, sorry, no, an absolute fucking nightmare. And every time I roll over in my bed, it just gets worse. It's just waiting for the next thing. I mean, I don't know whether you know that several Labour MPs have recently, ex-MPs have recently been arrested in sting operations for paedophilia.
I saw that.
Really?
Yeah, I saw that.
One of them who went after Elon Musk like a week ago.
But the best one was one who was on GB News last week, going on how really, really bad it was about paedophiles and how they should be stamped out. And he's just been arrested for trying to make a 10-year-old boy to have sex with. Yes.
Don't worry. Jimmy will fix it.
Oh yeah, it'll be all right. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Keir will disappear on another trip to shaft the country a little bit more, like he sent Rachel Reeves over to China to stitch us up there. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Old Rachel Hair by Lego Reeves.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen with because Herr Stammer and company sent those people over here to interfere in our elections. I wonder.
Did you say Herr Stammer? Did you
Yeah,
say
Stama.
Stama?
Yeah,
Yeah, Stama.
Yeah, Stama.
Yeah.
Um,
We've
It's
got
kind of a
plenty
German
names.
name, isn't it? It is kind of
we
a
got
German name.
Big smile.
Yeah, we've got
Big
Keir Starmer, we've got Keir Starling, 2-tier Kia, 3-gear Kia, never
Yeah.
here Kia because he's always away doing something fucking pointless. Just another one. I don't know whether you noticed. They've said that they're going to look at cancelling the BBC TV license in 2027.
Oh.
They're going to replace it with another tax.
Oh.
So
nice.
it won't be called the TV license anymore. You won't have to pay the TV license. We'll put it as another tax, which will go up and won't be as transparent. So I'm still going to end up paying for the steaming pile of shite. Well, I say that. I don't pay for my TV license because I don't. And if you don't
There
like
you
it,
go.
I don't care. But that's
you
what they
go.
want to do. They're going to get rid of the TV license, we'll call it something
like
else,
a lot.
the new tax. And so
Oh
people
yeah,
are going,
and just replace it with another name. They're just switching the names and how it's done, so it's not going to be open
well.
and transparent. So
all they do, mate, is in this country is they're just finding new and weird and wonderful ways to tax the living shit out of us.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then give it to a
Absolutely.
load of people who haven't fucking earned it, who sit everywhere doing whatever they want and getting everything they want.
Yep.
Well, there's a reason why we had the British invasion. They were getting out of England.
A lot of people are leaving. It's just give me a short sword and a shield and 10 good men, and I'll make sure that we. Yeah, trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me, because I'll hold the line. I'm not.
Hey, we'll sneak you through the border. Just make it to Mexico.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, no.
I think what they need to be concerned with is the Victorian era England.
They go,
so
Mike's paying up. Mike's starting to go funny. So
Okay. It's
Right.
too cold over there.
yeah, it's
All right.
freezing.
Okay, so real quick, I'm going to close the poll, and right now it's 86% believe that Britain is living under narco tyranny. So I think yes, Britain.
14% is not sure, so I
Yeah,
don't know if Time
exactly.
Prophet might have slipped in long enough to
Yeah,
vote
he
or
might
something.
have.
maybe.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. Usually he'll say something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're going to end this now. So at an hour and 20 something minutes.
Yep.
I want to thank the Gobster for coming out.
Been a pleasure as always, guys. As always.
His time
An
with us
absolute
today.
pleasure.
We appreciate him a lot. We
you very
appreciate
much.
everybody in his chats
Yep.
talking it up. Good to see a lot of people in here. Everybody was welcome. And want to thank Cruel Beer Abby, and T-Bunny for stopping by. And we will see everybody next week, because next Saturday night, we're going to be talking about the Thunderbird on Cryptids and Conspiracies.
Ooh.
So be sure and check that out. Our Saturday night.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about Abby's drinking habits either.
Yeah, no,
we're talking
not
about
the drink.
Actual
Not
cryptid.
the Thunderbird drink.
I don't have bourbon in this yet.
Why not?
But it's coming.
There we go.
There you go.
All right,
Excellent.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thank you so much. And we will see you all next week.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We all just want to party. Yes, we don't care what we